In a day, around $112,000. I made my yearly salary in 1 month. My first video that I posted on that page that I created went viral. And that's when I saw 30 grand off of that. Damn, that's a hard question. What do I wish I knew?
Welcome back to the second ever podcast on Shop House. Today we are joined by Bryce, Lapham, the most viral man on TikTok Shop, I would say. I'm excited to have you, Bryce. How you doing?
Good, man. I appreciate you for having me on. I don't know if I'd say the most viral man on TikTok Shop. But,
Okay. He's very humble as well if you guys didn't get it. But listen, Bryce, let's give a couple of your data points. The most sales you've ever done in a day, you said was?
In a day, are we talking GMV or commission?
Talking GMV.
GMV. So GMV was around $112,000.
$112,000 in one day. And the only reason why I tell people in a day in sales is because every other industry talks just about their sales. Right. They don't talk about their cut. So I feel like as TikTok, we need to introduce it as that. Commission on that was?
Just over $12K.
In one day.
Yeah.
In one single day. And that was before you quit your job?
No, that was...
After you quit?
No, that was right before I quit my job. Yeah, that was right before I quit my job because that video popped off on like the 6th of March and then I quit my job on the 15th. And it was like in between, I think it was the 11th or 12th of March.
So you're working this regular job and you're seeing the money just come into your account every day?
I was losing my mind. I was losing my mind.
Okay, so I want to get this whole full story because I've heard some of your story, but you seem like a very masculine guy, Bryce.
Okay.
Like, how does a guy like you, that is, you're a car salesman at the time, and I'll let you tell the story, but how does a guy like you that's a manly guy's guy, car salesman, think like, oh, I want to do social shopping?
I wanted to be a streamer, to be honest.
Okay. You're thinking like Twitch and stuff?
Yeah. I wanted to stream games. Like Apex was my go-to. And
right.
I wanted to play Apex. I wanted to play Pro. I wanted to stream. I wanted to do all that. So I tried that. Couldn't get into it. Then I wanted to create tech content because I was like, you know what? I love tech. I love PCs. I love gaming. Tried getting into all that. Grew the page kind of quick. And then it just, like, I plateaued. I didn't know where to go with it.
So you became a content creator, working a normal job.
Yeah.
Did you think like, hey, I want this to be my full-time job? Or were you just thinking, I want to do this for fun?
I wanted out of the rat race because, I mean, I have 4 kids. I'm married. I wanted to be home. I wanted to claim the time freedom that doesn't exist with a real job. At least for most people. It's hard to find that work-life balance. And I just had a baby. You know, my 4th baby, my last baby. And I wanted to spend the time because I never got to do that with my first 3. So I wanted to.
So when does social media come to your mind? What kind of research are you doing on this?
None.
Like what inspires you?
Well, what do you mean?
There had to be a streamer or something that you were looking at and they were like, hey, they're making crazy money.
Well, no, it wasn't that. So for the last decade, I was trying to break into the online money space. So I tried drop shipping, I tried SaaS, I tried affiliate marketing through Pinterest, Instagram, like anything you can think of to make money online, even retail arbitrage. Like I tried everything, the Gary Vee method, going to Walmart, hitting the clearance section. I tried it all. Couldn't break through. My wife thought I was crazy. Justified. And then finally I found TikTok Shop because I saw this guy flashing what it could be. And I was like, shit, another course. Another course. Do I buy another course? Borrowed money, got into the community, and it just clicked.
So you didn't even see TikTok Shop? You saw the course before you saw people doing it?
I saw TikTok Shop because as creating tech content, I wanted to like try to monetize it the best I could. So I tried to go the creator rewards program route, didn't pay anything. Then I saw TikTok Shop. So I started promoting, I promoted a mouse pad from a guy named Gutsy Aiden.
Okay.
Yeah, and that popped off. Did 200,000 views, and I made
your first video.
First like shop video. Yeah. The first no. The first shop video I ever posted was on Anchor, the Anchor Power Bank.
Big brand.
Right, and this was when they were small on TikTok, and that kind of like gave me the into it, and then I stopped after the mouse pad because I stopped creating that tech style content.
Right.
I stopped for a couple of months, and then I found the guy that was showing what it could actually do for you.
But you made money off that first video.
Barely. Like off of the Anchor video, I probably made $10. Off of the mouse pad video, I made about $500.
$500 off your like second shoppable video. Right. Why don't you think, hey, I can scale this?
Because it was so new and it was nothing but cheap, bad products.
Right. It was cheesy back then.
Cheesy. Nobody believed in it. Everyone thought it was a scam.
They were probably making fun of you too, right?
100%. 100%. There was clowns in the comments everywhere. Like, why would I buy this off TikTok? I ain't go to Amazon.
Right.
That's all my comment section was.
Right. So then you see this, you buy the course. How important do you feel like it is to pay into like an educational service?
I'm going to be a little controversial
here.
Sure. If you're brand new to something like this and you don't understand sales, you don't understand content creation, a course is probably good for you. But I did it for the community. I did not want, I wanted to be able to pick the brains of the smartest people inside that community that were achieving the results I wanted to achieve. That's what I did in the car business. That's like I went from being 18 as a detailer and a lot porter to being in sales 6 months after that to being a finance manager 2 years after I got into sales.
Okay.
Because I did nothing but surround myself with the guys that were where I wanted to be. So that's what I did the same thing with this.
Gotcha. So you were using that tactic to just get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about the car business. Talk about how your job over there kind of compares to like what you're doing now. How many hours you're working? How intensive was the labor? How stressed were you?
All the time stressed. I mean, the car business is very unpredictable. Everything I've done my entire life in terms of work has been unpredictable, and it's always been commission based. But like being in the car business taught me how to be quick on my feet, how to speak clearly, how to speak fluently, and how to like not stumble across my words. And then also just working through it long hours, 12 hours, 14 hours sometimes at the dealership. It was.
And so you had those, being in the car business, you were kind of doing your own thing still. Like you weren't getting like a guaranteed paycheck. It was always ups and downs.
You have a salary because they have to pay you something.
Okay.
But yeah, it was if I wanted to make more than the base pay as a salesman, you have to sell cars.
Right.
You get that good commission. And then in finance, you have a little bit more of a stable position in terms of salary, but still the commission's where it's at. So
you join the community. You are working in the car business at the time. You have how many kids?
At that time, I had 3 with actually, no. I had 4. He was born in January. My 4th was born in January. So I quit the whole like content side of things.
Right.
I started in August of 2023, went all the way up to December and just didn't do anything after that. That's when February hit and I joined the community. My first video that I posted on that page that I created went viral. And that's when I saw 30 grand off of that. And
your first ever video went viral.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight though. Before you join the course, you're surrounded by dudes that are working at the car dealership. Yeah. That is your community. That's who's in your ear. You know that you have the pressure of having all these kids that you got to provide for. Mm-hmm. What in your right mind did you feel like, hey, you had a level of confidence to where you felt like you could do it? Or that it was even possible? Because I imagine at the time, everybody in your ear is telling you, stop.
Oh, my boss was 100%. He was mad at me for being on TikTok.
Right.
But like I knew if everyday regular people, like the people I was looking at, could do it, I could do it.
But your boss is who you want to be at that time.
No, I didn't want to be in that type of position. I never wanted to work a 9-to-5 or a regular style job ever. I had to. It was the only way I could make money at the time.
Right.
I never wanted to do that. Like I wanted to be either an entrepreneur, a business owner, or something freelance like this. Like I knew that's where I wanted to go. I just didn't know how I was going to do it.
See, and I feel like that's the biggest thing is like with the internet, we have opportunity.
Everyone.
If you're just a normal guy, middle of America, with kids working at a car dealership, without the internet, you would have not even known that that's possible.
Right.
You're able to break out from that. So tell us, you join the course, you have your first viral video. What happens next? What kind of video was it? What kind of product was it? How did you even? It
was a bubble blaster. I set the trend for the bubble blasters.
A bubble blaster.
A bubble blaster. And I sold so the company was brand new. I sold them out every day for like 2 weeks straight at their 200 unit cap. And then once that cap lifted, it's when it really exploded. But in that, all the way up till about it died, I made like 30 grand in commission off of that. And I lost my mind. And that was all within from February 22nd until about March 5th or 6th, I had made that 30 grand. And then from March 6th, which is when I posted the headphone video, it popped off on, I think it was March 6th or March 8th. All the way up till I quit my job, I made another 30 grand in a week.
How long would it have taken you at your regular job to make that 30 grand?
A whole year. I made my yearly salary in 1 month.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's what made me quit. And my boss, this is a funny story. We have Saturday meetings at the dealership every Saturday. And one of the topics of discussion was he was mad that all of us were on TikTok because I was trying to put everybody on.
Right.
And he was mad. And he goes, you guys aren't going to make any money on TikTok. You got to put it away. It's never going to happen. At that time, I'd already made $5,000 to my pocket. And I was like laughing. And then 2 weeks later is when I showed him $60,000 and quit that day. He goes, so I assume I'm going to lose you. I was like, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, I got to go.
You still talk to him?
Oh, yeah.
Does he see what you're doing now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did he ever shift his mindset and like say like he's
After
proud
a while,
of you?
Yeah.
That's
After
good.
a while. It's hard because when you're set in your own ways, especially somebody who's worked up that corporate ladder for so long, it's difficult to fathom that that something online, especially on TikTok, can bring that type of income.
Right, especially at your age. I'm sure he's looking at you and he's like, no, trust me.
Right.
You know,
that's a dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. I always looked up to him. He's a good dude. You know, he's smart. He's really good with his money. You know, he's amazing at that. But I just didn't want to be that guy.
You just don't know what you don't know. Right. And that's why I'm saying like the internet has gotten us so many more opportunities that people like us would have never had.
Right.
We couldn't have ever dreamed of. So you have the viral videos. What's next in your journey?
Teaching and educating and helping others that were in the same spot as me.
Talk about the beginning of Social Army. So Social Army is the agency that Bryce is with, the creator community, the #1 creator community. But you started from day one and built the #1 creator community. How did the beginning days look of that?
kind of crazy, to be honest, the way that my business partners actually reached out to me. Stan and Jasper reached out to me through Discord from that community that I was in. Just cold outreach in my DM. And at that time, I was answering all my DMs.
Right.
And he sent me this long paragraph telling me what their kind of envisions were and things of this nature. They were just looking for that final piece to put it all together. And I was like, sure, what you got? And then we jumped on a call, and he explained the vision. And within 3 weeks of us initially talking and 2 weeks after I quit my job, we launched.
That's insane that you would even be willing to take that
Took a leap of
risk.
faith, man.
Because you're already leaving your job
Right.
and just making money from the videos.
Right.
And then they're like, hey, you want to join this new business venture? What made you say yes?
They seemed extremely genuine, and my intuition was right. So, like I'm really good at picking people out in that way. And that was one of the things, like when we originally started talking, I didn't get any sort of bad feeling. Like at one point I was a little reserved, and I told him, I said, I don't know if I can do this. I don't envision myself going into business and running it this way.
Right.
And he was like, whoa, hold on. Let's align everything and do it together in a way that makes sense. And instead of like saying, well, yeah, sorry, this is what we want to do, he was like, no, I want to hear where you want to be at, and let's align it together.
That is one thing that I will say about Social Army is that I've never met anybody in Social Army that has like a bad bone in their body.
Right.
That you feel like they have other intentions or they're not being truthful. I feel like everybody within the group is super supportive, and I feel like everybody is very positive
100%.
and very humble, which is the biggest thing.
We attract the right people.
Right.
And obviously you're gonna have some bad apples here and there, right? But for the most part, we attract the right people, and it's all about just what you put out, and it will come back to you.
And I feel like the biggest thing for me that attracts me to Social Army is, like I said, humility.
100%.
For me, you guys are not, shining how much money you make,
Right.
and even though I ask you and you're honest enough to tell me,
Right.
that's not what you pull for. I think for you, Bryce, I think that you attract people by your relatability of, I was that normal guy working that normal job, and I have kids that I have to support, and if I can do it, you can do it too.
100%. I quit my job, and the day I quit my job, I made a video in the parking lot right before I left, and that video went viral overnight. And that's kind of like what sparked my presence in that scene of relatability and attracting the individuals.
The video of you're talking, what kind of video was it?
Just TikTok, just a regular TikTok video on my main page.
No sales?
No, nothing. Just it was the page that I was growing, and it's the page now that I post all of my teaching content and personal content on.
So you as a brand, Bryce Lapham, where do you envision your page, or where do you envision yourself? Do you feel like you're a social media influencer, or what do you see yourself as, and what do you kind of like have for yourself that you're growing?
It's a hard question to answer because I can't really give you that answer, to
Right.
be honest with you. I don't see myself as like an influencer per se. I mean, I'm not very big in that sense. However, I want to be that voice for those people who don't understand any of this, because it's so hard to find a genuine connection or a genuine voice especially on the social media space,
Right.
where people are actually giving real advice and real tangible action steps for them to implement without charging them $1,000 for consulting. Like it almost doesn't exist. I wanted to be that. I wanted to give that information to the people who needed it, who couldn't find it elsewhere. And that's one of the big reasons why I joined that community, so I could pick the brains of those people.
Right.
And it was hard to find the right people who were willing to share that information. Most of them didn't want to. And then I gained this philosophy of no gatekeeping. I don't gatekeep. I think that shit's weird, to be honest, on certain things, right? Like if you have a business or you're doing a startup, you have to gatekeep some of the things that you're doing in that regard. But for TikTok Shop, no, there's enough room for everybody to win.
And I think it's so crazy because for the first time in social media history, you don't need that massive following.
Right.
You don't need to have the perfect body.
Nope.
You don't need to have, the perfect camera presence. It is relatability that is the biggest attraction. Those are the people that are making millions of dollars. Middle of America people are getting filthy rich on this app for the first time ever.
At minimal effort too, which is wild. And the crazy thing is, like, your experiences that you have, they're not unique to just you. And as long as you can put that experience out to the world, let the algorithm do the rest. It'll put you in front of the right people. Those people will relate to you, and that relatability breeds the connection, breeds the sales, and breeds everything else.
Talk about Social Army, this community that you guys have grown. What do you feel like really contributed to making it number one over all the rest?
The vulnerability and the relatability aspect, just being real. 100% real. There's no fakeness behind it. There's no flashy cars. There's no flashy mansions. There's like, don't get me wrong. Like, sure, sell the lifestyle in certain cases, but for me, there's already enough people out there who do that. So we chose the different route of just showcasing the everyday average person myself, I'm a dad, I'm married. Like the last 10 years of my life have been catered to building my family and just taking care of them. And that's what we put out there.
Right.
And I think that's really it. Just regular people making a shit ton of money on the internet, but providing for their family and for generations to come.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that. So let's go into your creation of your most viral video, because I'm curious, and I'm sure a lot of people are curious. How did you find the product? How did you choose the product? How did you know that?
I sat on that product for like 3 weeks before I made a video on it.
What do you mean? So on TikTok, you order the sample and then you didn't fulfill the sample request?
No, at that time there wasn't like that didn't hinder you either. So like I got into TikTok Shop early on. So like it was Wild Wild West. Almost anything would kind of.
Were you just kind of excited that you were getting it for free?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest reasons I got into it, because I wanted to get tech I want to get tech stuff for free, and so that's why I got into it, you know. But I got these headphones and I sat on them forever and didn't want to make a video, and then one day I had this idea. I had AirPods, and I was like, you know what? What if I compare these to AirPods? AirPods,
which is against TOS now,
right? And it was then too, but I got lucky I didn't get
right,
because I even mentioned it too in the video. But I was like, what if I compare these $15 over-the-ear headphones to AirPods? Because the biggest struggle I had is I don't like AirPods. They fall out of my ear, and they hurt my ears. So I touched on the line of ear fatigue. I called it ear exhaustion, and that caused a lot of controversy. People call me weak or a sissy and all kinds of crazy crap in my comments. But like I just touched on those relatability factors, and there was a lot of relatability in that video, and it just popped off.
Now I know that you kind of break it down into a science now, but when you filmed that, did you have it written down? Did you?
Everything I do, even to this day, is off the top of the head. I don't script anything. I don't script, not even my motivational stuff. I don't script anything.
So you looked back at it and realized what analytics really contributed to making it viral, but at the time you just were at work, you were on break, and you just lifted up the phone?
Well, there's a formula to any sales, right? And especially online. I knew from learning how to create content that I had to have a hook. So that's first and foremost. But when it comes to sales, feature and a benefit. Solve a problem. And the product will sell itself after that. Right. So, I mean, when it comes to sales, it's that easy. You just have to learn how to put it together in the right way.
If I'm new, if I'm coming into TikTok Shop for the first time, if I'm in your position, where do I go first? What do I need to do first?
Absorb as much information as you can from the people you relate to most. That's the first thing I tell everybody. I don't even want, if somebody's brand new and doesn't even have the follower amount, I don't even recommend joining a community or a course yet. Go binge all the free information on YouTube. Go find all the creators you relate to most on TikTok. Follow them, watch them, learn what they're doing, and then once you have a good grasp or understanding of what this truly is, find a place where you feel like you'll fit in best. I tell everybody that. Whether it's with us, whether it's with somebody else, you have to find the place you fit in best. Sure, I want everybody to join us.
Right.
I think we can solve a lot of problems, but not everyone's going to relate to me or the people we have inside Social Army, right? You know, it's just not always going to happen. You can't please everyone.
And why do you guys choose the price point that you do of Social Army? Because it is much more affordable than any other.
It is, and we under-promise and over-deliver on a lot of the things that we do.
Definitely.
And the reason we do that is because we're hoping that once you get in there, you understand that the value you get out of it is well worth the amount that you're paying for.
It is insane. Like I go on the app and I'm on Discord and I see class after class after class after Matt teaching about tech, after so-and-so teaching about this, after, it is insane the amount of literal courses that you get I feel like you should be paying a college tuition
100%
for what you're getting in this course.
That's the way we built it out, and the quality of it too. Like our course itself has over 30 hours of course material just from beginner to intermediate. And then if you want to include all of the other recordings that we've had, I mean, we've my gosh, done 1 to 2 lives a week religiously over the last 12 months. And now it's even more than that. So, I mean, you can do the math on how much that is. There's hundreds of hours of class material and live recorded material in there from absolute killers, from brands, from just everything. TikTok themselves has been in our community a bunch.
And then Social Army is one piece. Talk about Live Academy.
Oh my gosh. Live Academy is a whole nother animal.
We're here in Las Vegas right now as we speak because Live Academy is doing an event on Saturday. And I'm super excited. This is my first Social Army event. Tell us what you guys are building over there and why somebody would join a Live Academy.
So Live Academy is...
Or let's explain to the viewers live social shopping.
Right.
So on TikTok, you can either make a video and buy from a video, or you can go live and buy the product from the video. Tell us what's the difference between videos and live? Why would somebody want to choose live over video?
So there's a lot of reasons, right? Some people struggle to create content and sometimes it just never clicks, right? Or they don't have that presence, or they're just not confident enough to be on camera.
Right.
With lives, you can be behind the camera the entire time, and just your voice is out there, and then the product's in front of the camera. You put some movement in there with your hands and things like that, and it's pretty simple to do on paper, right? But it's a lot harder than it looks. Most people don't realize when you talk nonstop for an hour, your voice tends to go away. You tend to get exhausted. Your jaw starts to feel kind of weird, right? And then you run out of shit to say, and you feel like you're a broken record.
Yeah.
But lives can be lucrative in the now, whereas videos can print over time if they pop off correctly.
Live is fast money.
Live's fast money. It's almost instant money. If you can get in there and you have the right scripting, the right words to say, the right sale, the right product, and the right deals at that time. So, but lives is almost an instant.
And I assume that these companies can give you special coupons and discounts and stuff if you connect and network.
Yes.
And
being a part of Live Academy, I don't mean to cut you off here, but being a part of Live Academy, we're also, I think, top 3 live selling agency.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you guys help your clients out with that as well?
Oh,
getting
100%.
like the deals and the coupons for them to use?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to get at. We provide a lot of these flash sales and coupons for the brands that we work closely with to these live affiliates that are putting out the numbers for it.
I almost feel like with live, it is all about the kind of helping people find the product that they need right then and there, but you have to have a good sale. So when we say coupons and when we say discounts, these companies and Social Army, Live Academy can give you specific coupons that you can use on your videos to give to your audience that you just make sales like crazy, like crazy. I mean, it is insane the way that live is going, and I truly think that live is going to take over. How do you feel like the future of live streaming is going to be?
So if you look at it historically, it's performed really, really well in all the other countries where TikTok Shop and live selling exists, right? And then you look at QVC. QVC's been like the live selling platform forever. Just got some information about this earlier today. The average person on QVC live shopping doesn't buy a product until I think it was like 6 months after seeing it for the first time, which is kind of crazy.
That's
TikTok
crazy.
Shop, it's a lot different. But with TikTok Shop, you're 100% right. It's going to explode. It's going to be the future of it because that's where people can showcase those deals right then and there. And everybody is doing this.
Right.
Everybody is doing this. And when the right deal comes across somebody's For You page and they hear it at that right moment, they're just going to get it. And it's becoming a more trusted platform for that.
That is insane. That is insane. We got a couple questions, Bryce, that we're going to ask you.
Okay.
Let's get into it. What time are we at right now?
We are at 23 minutes.
23. Okay, we're making good timing. Dang, Bryce, you're covering a lot quick. All right, let's do this. All right, we're going to do some quick questions just to go over it. What do you do on TikTok Shop, and how do you make money from it? Bryce.
So I create short form shoppable videos on TikTok Shop. And the way I make money from it is whenever you become a part of the affiliate program on TikTok Shop, brands will give you a specific affiliate link for the products that you're promoting that you can link into your video. So when I post my video, the algorithm takes care of the rest and starts putting it out in front of the audience, those people then have the option to purchase that product directly from my video without ever having to leave the platform. It's a very seamless integration. And then once they're done, they swipe back and then go right back to scrolling to their comedy. Or
And I think it's insane because this is the first time in history that you get e-commerce mixed with social commerce. For me, dude, I was trying to crack into dropshipping forever.
Oh, dude, me too.
But I was always social media. I could never do the back end stuff of running the ads and testing the ads against each other. And now you can get into e-commerce, but you could just film a video. It's nuts.
And it's the
nuts.
lowest barrier to entry out of any sort of business that you can start.
Right.
You can literally do this with no money. I mean, I borrowed $11 to get the knowledge I wanted, and then all I did was request free samples. Yeah. I didn't put a single dime into product. I didn't put a single dime into anything else except for that $11. And then that $11 turned into where I'm at now.
Have you ever thought about owning your own brand?
Yeah, there's a lot of logistics that go into that, though. I want to later on down the road.
Sure.
But for now, I mean, I'd be a fool to kind of like take my attention off of what affiliate.
Talk about the benefits of affiliate over brand.
There's no overhead. You have no inventory. You don't deal with customers. You don't deal with shipping. You don't deal with anything except for maybe some of the minor issues we as affiliates deal with when it comes to low views or getting violations or doing things of that nature. But if you do things by the book and you know how to create good, converting, shoppable content, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's literally the most lucrative way to make money on the internet.
Right. Do you work with brands directly?
Yeah, some brands I do.
How do you feel is the best way to get in touch with brands to have a good relationship with them?
If you're a part of a community that works with brand deals or has good relationships with brand deals, I feel like that's probably the best way, because it's going to be a more seamless way of contacting and being in contact with these brands versus trying to do it on your own through TikTok's back office, because that's very, very cluttered. If you're an affiliate, we all know how bad that is. Or just outreach in your email. Once you become a notable person on TikTok Shop as an affiliate, these brands can see that on the back end. So they'll reach out to you directly through either WhatsApp if you give them that information through your email, or through TikTok. I do a lot of outreach through my email and through WhatsApp, and that's where I'll communicate with them.
I've talked to brands before, and they're kind of like, we don't want to give, you know, like an affiliate a retainer by themselves, but we will sign a group and do that. What do you think of retainers? And I mean, retainers, guys, is basically whenever a brand will pay an affiliate kind of like a brand deal for a certain amount of videos. How do you feel about retainers?
I'm a little controversial on that. I don't like what some of these communities have done to that space.
Right.
A lot of these communities devalued what a creator can truly bring to the table for brands by promising them 30 videos for $500. Right. Like it's pennies on the dollar for the content you're putting out. That content can possibly generate a lot of sales for them. Right. So I don't like those large retainer deals. However, now if we're talking a 1, 3, 5, 10 video package, I'm all for it. But it's got to be properly valued to what I can bring to the table.
Is that something that Social Army does as well?
We are going to be breaking into that very soon. And that is something we haven't brought to the face yet, but that is something we are heavily working on in the back end, because what we want to do is be able to incentivize our creators, not only the beginning creators, but also our top tier creators, because we have some of the biggest affiliates on TikTok Shop in Social Army, but we want to be able to bring them those deals that are worth their time.
For me, I think it's super interesting because a brand like Goalie, they really care about exposure on the app, and then they're making their sales elsewhere. Walmart, Target, you see them on the front page. For me, I have a massive audience, and I feel like I could get, you know, I have a video of videos that I do that I could get, you know, 2 million views, but they don't generate any sales. And so I feel like the brand is still getting so much recognition. I kind of feel like I should be getting paid for that. And that's one of the things I've talked to Social Army about is like, how do you feel about this new model of kind of CPM deals? Have you heard of that? Anything about that? Or do you think it's coming soon? Or do you think anybody's going to?
I have. I'm trying to remember when we were talking about that. I think at the end of the day, the exposure on some of these brands, it's worth it.
Right.
I mean, 100%. I mean, you can't guarantee sales. You can never guarantee sales. You can never guarantee virality. So these brands are taking a risk by paying a creator for these deals anyway. But for a high quality creator, someone like yourself who can get 2 million views on a video, or I created a series called Munchie's Reviews where I would review things. That series generated over 12 million views off of 9 videos. That's crazy. It didn't convert very well, but it brought a bunch of exposure.
And if they saw that product at the store, they would 100% buy it because they knew your series.
And my comment section is full of, I can get this cheaper at the store. I can get this cheaper at the gas station. So what I probably did was trigger a lot of people's like, oh, I want that now because of that video. Let me just go to Walmart and get it. You know,
I think that's the hardest thing when talking to brands is like, they're like, no, but you didn't make that many sales. But it's like,
I brought you so much exposure.
Exactly.
You would have paid for that.
And it's like, we can't track them buying it anywhere else. What is your number one tip for someone who wants to start as a TikTok affiliate? What do they do today?
Okay. Number one tip for someone who wants to start as a TikTok Shop affiliate, what do they do today? Figure out if content is something you're even comfortable doing. Film yourself. If you can't comfortably pick up a camera and after 10 tries, look that camera and talk to it like it's somebody on FaceTime, this might not be for you.
Right.
And and the reason I say, and this is kind of controversial, but the reason I say that is because if you can't get comfortable speaking to the camera with fluidity, you're going to have a hard time moving forward with this.
Right.
Being on a camera is difficult. It's awkward. It's not fun.
You know what's crazy though, man, is like my mom, she cannot do videos for the life of her. She's 50-something years old, but she can go live and do $5,000 on live. It is nuts.
That's what I touched on that earlier. Remember?
Yeah.
Some creators can't do the videos, but they can get behind the camera and just talk and sell a sale. Right? If you're selling the sale or you're just reading off of something and you're just being repetitive, it's pretty simple to do at the end of the day.
Right.
And if you get the right audience, people are going to buy from it anyway. Right?
I agree.
But if you want to be successful as a video creator for the TikTok Shop affiliate side of things, it's going to be kind of tough. You know, I've helped coach thousands of creators, and I've watched a lot of them just not get past that hump of being comfortable either talking to the camera or talking through it. It's hard.
100%.
And a lot of people can't talk with fluidity either.
Right.
It's very difficult.
What is the biggest mistake that you made when you started on TikTok Shop?
Not doubling down on my viral videos.
Okay.
That is something I've always beat myself up over.
You were just making videos on different products and just keep going?
I was afraid that if I remade the same video that was already going viral, it was going to kill the original viral one. And that was a huge misconception that a lot of people had in the very beginning. But not doubling down, I think I probably would have made $1 million in commission my first full year doing this if I would have just doubled down on what was already viral.
When do you stop doubling down though? Why don't you just keep
When it
doubling
stops
down?
selling.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, now I do it.
You just look at the data and stuff.
Yeah. When it stops gaining the traction, when the hook stops working, when people stop buying it, or when the trend is over, that's when you stop. And then you find something else.
How often do you look at your earnings pages?
I'm addicted.
I used to be, but
yeah.
I had to stop. I stopped when I was doing super big numbers.
Yeah.
Because I was just like,
I never stopped. I would refresh it and just watch.
you
the
still
numbers
do
go
to
up.
this day? Like,
Oh,
you're going to whip it out in a second and look.
I've been tempted this entire time.
I mean, for me, like, I just feel like you can't do anything to change that number.
You can't.
At this very moment.
No, you can't. And I tell people all the time, don't focus in areas that you can't control.
Right.
And, which I can't control that, right? Once it's out there, it's in the algorithm's hands.
But it has to affect your mood.
Sometimes. It used to bad. Like I used to get
But
really
now you have a
down
great savings account.
to an
So
extent.
you know that you don't have to go
Right.
month to month and you can.
I don't have to worry is the way I
Right.
look at it, you know,
Right.
and I don't have to worry. I mean, I haven't made exponentially life-changing money, you know, like I'm not a millionaire, you know, I'm not there yet. You know, the goal obviously is to be there. In the
Right.
next 5 years, I will be there.
Yes.
But now, like, I'm comfortable, but I also have way more responsibilities than the average person does.
Have you ever had thoughts of going back to the job? Or going back to get a job?
No, because I've always been like a sink or swim type of person. I've always put myself in very volatile workplaces. Like I worked at the car business for 10 years. I built wind turbines, which is another volatile place. You know, you're on contract, you're off contract. I owned a dispensary. Like I've always put myself in places where the money is nice, but it's very, very volatile. So for me, if this were to all fail and end tomorrow, I've built so much skills in speaking, public speaking,
Networks.
selling,
Yeah.
networking, all that kind of stuff. I could probably start from scratch, have enough of my savings to get me through until I figured something else out. So like for me,
What do you do on those super low days when you open your phone and you see it's just staying at that low number?
it's a low. It's a low. That's not permanent. It's only permanent if you accept it to be permanent. It's just a low. This is all it does. It's ups and downs, 24/7. You're never gonna. It's not linear. You're not gonna have a straight line. It's never gonna look like this. It's always gonna look like this. That's it. It's just low.
I mean, I guess for me, it kind of like irks me sometimes when
Don't get me wrong. it
when I
pisses me
get a
off,
low
but-
view and then I get on Twitter and I see like somebody, I had an $8,000 day.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It still makes me like today. Garrett has done really, really well on a series that he's got going on right now, and he's producing thousands of dollars in commission. I'm looking at just a few $100s in commission.
Right.
So yeah, don't get me wrong. Like,
Garrett's getting dinner tonight.
Right. Garrett's getting the hands right now. Sure, it's a little irritating at times, but at the end of the day, like I've made so much viral content. Like it's just another low. Like you'll come out of that. But the thing is, so many people get distracted and get stuck on that it destroys their mental. You can't do that. You will fall apart when you do that.
The way that I see it is like I try to think of when I was doing it last year, and we have slow seasons with TikTok Shop. That's the other thing is like Q4 is insane. I mean, it was for me, but when I think of myself this time last year, I was going back to my YouTube channel, making videos because I didn't know I was going to be able to make this a career. And it wasn't until Q4 came that I built my savings account up. But I try to track the seasons, and I try to think of myself last year in this position.
I don't think there's enough stable data to truly do that with
Right,
TikTok Shop
right.
yet. And also, too, TikTok Shop.
There's so much that goes into it.
So much. And TikTok Shop's ever changing. What worked last month doesn't work this month.
True.
What worked last week may not work this week.
Right.
You know, what worked for you yesterday may not even work today when you try to repost that same style of video. It's so inconsistent. The only thing consistent about TikTok is that it is inconsistent. And you'll constantly have to find new ways to get past that. And that's a lot of people get so stuck in their ways. I've even done it, but get so stuck in their ways of creating one specific style of content. And once it stops, they're lost. They don't know what to do.
So then how would you find your way out of that?
You just have to evolve, and you have to find other creators you relate to and start testing different things. Like I will say this till I'm blue in the face. Test, 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 test. You can't stop testing.
How
have
can
to
Social Army help you out when you're stuck like that?
the thousands of other minds that are in there doing the exact same thing, testing. And then you find other people you relate to. It's all about who you're surrounded by.
I think that's one thing that I lack is I'm not active enough in there. It's always me versus me. I'm never like getting involved in the community, which I think I need to step up for sure, because I think that all the great minds and what's working for Garrett and, you know.
With everybody else. Like, so Garrett handles the mastermind section that we have
Right.
inside Social Army, and you have to have a certain level of GMV to be inside
Right.
there. One of the biggest things that's helped him and a lot of other creators is being able to mingle with those other high-level creators in there that are figuring out things that are working for them.
Yeah.
And you take little bits and pieces from each one of them and test it for yourself.
Yeah.
And if it works,
That's the other thing
double
with
down.
Social Army is like, you can join as a beginner. You can join at 15 million GMV.
100%.
There's different levels and there's different groups that you can join as well.
100%.
All right. If your account got banned today, what would you do starting over, making a new account?
I would start reviewing the products that I already have again. That's it.
Just same thing that you're doing now?
Same thing. Or if I wanted to, so if I didn't have any money or if I had a little bit of money and a budget to spend, I would take the route of the ads manager route. Garrett's real familiar with this. You can actually run ads on a video and gain the amount of followers you need to get into shop.
Oh, you're talking about followers.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you have to have followers to get back into the TikTok shop program.
Right.
You have to have at least 1,000.
Have they not patched that?
Oh, that's not
My
that.
ad account actually got banned because I grew 12 accounts.
Nah,
That way.
damn.
Yeah, it's blacklisted.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That
I've had been
sucks.
around.
I've never heard of that.
Yep. My star manager reached out and said that, hey, we figured out that you're blacklisted. I was going nuts behind the computer, bro.
I don't blame you for having.
I would test. I tested everything in this game when I started. I mean, I spent somewhere between 12 and 15K running ads on my affiliate videos a year ago to try to come out profitable.
Ooh,
I was testing everything in this game.
I've
I've done a lot that people don't know about.
Right. I want to touch on that though.
Yeah.
For anybody out there watching this, please don't spend your money on affiliate ads or promote or any of
Organic is king.
Organic is king. Or let the brand spend the money on you. The beautiful thing about affiliate marketing on TikTok Shop is you don't have to put your own money into it at all. At all. Organic will pay you. Brands will feed your video if ad spend has to get put behind it. But once you spend money yourself, TikTok knows you have money.
It's funny because I see people, talking, I was the first to do this, I was the first to do that. I ran ads a year ago, probably this month. And I don't think anybody did it. I remember seeing when it got enabled that you could actually run ads on your videos. So I was trying to break a positive ROI, and it didn't work because the system thinks that your return on investment is the overall sale. It doesn't know that we're only getting 20% of the commission. So it didn't matter how much I would put in it. The system was like, this is great, but it wouldn't see that I was only getting 20%.
Right.
So I talked to TikTok, and they said that they really can't do it because some affiliates might have some shady things that they might start doing. So just to keep the platform safe, it's probably not optimized for affiliates to run ads. But you don't need to run ads.
No, you don't. The
I made all
algorithm
my
is so
money
strong.
with organic.
Me too.
Um,
I don't even like giving out a Spark code if I'm gonna be honest. I don't like when companies run ads in my videos.
Really?
I genuinely don't.
I made all my money with ads, with companies running ads.
I'd never. I've had nothing but bad experiences from companies running ads in my videos, except for GMV Max.
How can a company screw you over by running ads? Or how have they?
So before they kind of like foolproof that to an extent, Spark Ads gave the company full rights to your video for the amount of time that you gave them that Spark code. So they could do whatever they want with it. They could remove your link, they can add different links, they can run anchor ads, they can put it on a different platform, they can do whatever, and then completely cut you out and never have to pay you a dime. So I hated Spark codes for that reason. And then two, when you had a video that was going viral, the second the company would turn on a Spark code, your organic traffic would shut off.
Is it still like that?
Not with GMV Max, no.
Okay.
And that's the only thing I like. I still don't give out Spark codes.
Right.
Even though they kind of fixed that, I still don't give it out.
In the past, so Spark codes are basically a code that you would have on your video that you could send to a brand so they could they could have permission. You could set how long they had permission to run your video as an ad, and they could run your video as an ad. Some brands would do some shady stuff. I remember I had a brand that they were running it as an ad and they changed the product, so I wasn't getting commission at all. But now they have a system called GMV Max, which is basically an AI system that will automatically optimize the best converting video, and they will put all their ad spend behind that.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of that terms. What do you wish you knew before you posted your first ever video?
When do you mean first ever video? Like first ever piece of content or first ever shop content?
First ever shop content.
Damn, that's a hard question. What do I wish I knew before I posted my first ever video? Where this was gonna take me. I wish I could tell the future of where this was gonna take me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would have done things slightly different.
You would have went 10 times harder.
Yeah. I wish I would have
just kept pushing.
Yeah, and
Sure.
and Yeah.
So to the people out there now, how good is the opportunity still to get on TikTok Shop?
It's still extremely good. It's not as explosive as it was in the very beginning. Don't get me wrong. You can't just throw something at the wall and hope it sticks. You do have to have some sort of a method behind it, but it's still the most lucrative and lowest barrier to entry opportunity that exists, in my opinion.
Right. Dude,
And the least amount of effort. I mean, you can do this with 8 hours a week, and I'm talking a whole week,
Right.
and be good.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Dude, that's gonna be a good hook when Bryce was like, damn, that's a hard question. All right. How did you get your first ever sale on TikTok Shop?
That one came from the sample I got with the anchor when I was building that tech page, trying to go out there with that. I saw that I had shop access, didn't know what it was, requested the sample, got approved, which blew me away, and made the worst video ever. And I thought it was the best thing ever.
Right.
I was doing this cool little showcase, like I was doing all kinds of cool stuff with it. And within 5 minutes of the video being up, I got a sale. But that was when TikTok was
5 minutes.
Yes, but so hold on. That was a totally different era of TikTok Shop.
Right.
Totally different. They were immediately pushing it to the people they knew were already hot traffic. And TikTok, that was when TikTok was testing it. This is in 2023. That's when TikTok was testing everything. And within 5 minutes of it being out there, I got a sale.
How much easier was TikTok Shop in 2023?
Oh my God, so much easier. I mean, you could literally go to an Amazon listing and film the Amazon thing and say, this is cheaper on TikTok Shop. Buy here. There's a link down below. Don't buy from there. That was the meta forever. It was such a bad meta.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was so bad, but that was so easy.
I remember when I started my first ever TikTok Shop account, I tried copying that, and my accounts got banned like twice.
Yeah.
Because they enabled like you couldn't film a screen,
Yep.
and it was insane.
They learned real quick on what was going to hurt them as a platform.
Right.
And then once the FTC started really looking at this and getting involved, like, you can't do that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just not. It's
Yeah.
not okay.
What is one myth that they say about TikTok Shop that is not true?
Oh, there's a lot. What is one myth they say about TikTok Shop that is not true? That they favor larger creators over smaller creators. That is like the number one myth out there.
I disagree as well. I think it's harder to be a large creator than a small creator.
1000%, because when you're a larger creator, you already have a following. You will hinder your following and hinder your organic results on your non-shoppable videos when you start posting shop content. I made the most money from 0 to 10,000 followers. Now that my pages are all over 50, 60, 70, 80,000 followers, I've developed a following for that page, so it's a little harder. But yeah, it's bigger creators. TikTok doesn't favor them. The algorithm doesn't care who you are. The algorithm favors quality content.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's harder because for me, like we talked about, it gets hit by my fans.
It does.
That don't like it.
And
So it's going to hurt the retention. They're going to comment it. I made 5 times as much money on a brand new account with 5,000 followers.
And you will every time and time again. New accounts are king. Once you first get those accounts into the affiliate program, if you know what you're doing, you'll explode that account like that. New accounts, fresh accounts are king.
How do you explode it?
By posting what you know that works.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
quality content. TikTok will always favor quality over that.
What video style have you done that has consistently since the beginning or now driven views and sales?
What do you mean by video style? I can interpret that in a couple of different ways. What is your thought on that? Are you talking like the funnel styles of video? Or are you talking
like give us an example of like your best-selling video that you replicate.
It's so I made a breakdown on YouTube about this. The style of video that's always worked really well for me is there's 3 steps to a video, and I've made a couple of this. You have a hook, you have the middle parts of your video, and then you have your call to action. But your middle parts, you need to figure out what you want it to be. Do you want it to be a story? Do you want it to be an experiment? Do you want it to be a feature and benefit? Do you want it to be a direct demonstration? Do you want it to be straight top of funnel where you're introducing something from the top down? That's where you have to kind of figure it out. I do best with demonstration, features and benefits, and experiments.
So the style of the video, hook and call to action always stays the same.
Always
you
stays
just
the same.
change the middle and experiment product to product.
100%.
Love that. I love that. How do you choose which products you promote on TikTok Shop?
Passion products that I like. I don't follow the trends. I used to. I tried, but there's so many other fish out there trying to do the same thing. Following the trend is just hard. You're competing with thousands of other creators at that point. I've started many trends on TikTok Shop for products, hooks, styles of videos. Hell, Garrett's done it. Other creators in our community have done it. Lots of creators in the community have done it. But passion products, I will preach this until the day I die. Don't promote things you don't like. It comes across fake. It comes across inauthentic. Promote products you have a genuine experience with and sell the experience.
And then I guess we can get into more of the controversial. How do you feel as a man doing TikTok shop? They say this is a women's market, 5-1. How do you feel doing TikTok shop as a man? Do you feel like it's harder? Do you feel like we have disadvantages?
I don't think there's a real disadvantage to it if you can find your style. The problem with a lot of men is that they're not comfortable getting out there and just being weird on the internet. You know, women tend to be more open about that and relatable to that. Men don't. Men have an image they want to protect. Drop your ego. Sorry, I'm vulgar. I'm trying not to cuss.
You're good.
Drop your ego and do what works for you. Like for me, I'm extremely relatable. I'm very outgoing, and it's easy for me to talk to people. I can talk to anybody, you know. But just get rid of the ego. That's it. If you want to succeed on this as a guy, lose the ego, and accept.
I agree.
Yeah, and accept that this is possible for anybody as long as you are willing to make it work for yourself. Like there's a disadvantage to some of it because women tend to buy things more than men do. But when you hit the right demographic, as long as you're selling something that they like, they're gonna buy it. So
I love that. Yeah. I love that. All right, let's see, because I did post. I don't want to keep this for too long, but I did post the TikTok. Let's see if we got any questions. Ask Bryce if he thinks the TikTok shop program has become saturated.
Saturation doesn't exist. Look at Amazon, right? You just have to be different. If you can approach something from a different angle, you can always find a market for it.
And from what I hear, there's more brands coming on than affiliates.
1,000%. There's so much opportunity on TikTok shop. People just don't know how to recognize it. People are so wired to follow what other people are doing. Go against the grain. Look at things that you like and find different angles that work. Saturation, in my opinion, there might be some products that are saturated with the style that people are creating around. Let's look at Goalie, for example, right? Goalie has had multiple different trends over its time being on TikTok. Each one of those trends starts out strong, peaks, falls off. And then all those people who caught on late are still trying to do the older trend. Then you have those creators who pave those new paths that find a different angle. It pops off, it uptrends, and then it downtrends again. It's just a constant. You just have to find those different angles and separate yourself from everybody else. That's it. I don't truly believe that saturation will ever exist on this. There's too much out there for that to happen, in my opinion.
What is one thing that pisses you off that new creators do?
Taking advice from every single guru they see on their For You page. And the reason I say that is there's a lot of bad advice going around. Most people are wanting that fast path to income, and all these gurus that are out there
taking advantage.
That's it. It irks the absolute hell out of me. The problem is they're not willing to put in the time and effort to find somebody that's actually trustworthy. They just want that quick hit, and that's not going to happen here. You're going to lose your mind, and you're going to ruin it for yourself. Stop taking advice from everybody you see on the internet. Stop. Find somebody who is successful in it is that you want to do. Take advice from that person.
On TikTok shop, if there was a challenge and somebody had to sell the most GMV, who's winning? The young, hot influencer or the old lady that's in the middle of America?
That's a tough one. It depends if we're looking at short-term or longevity. If we're looking at longevity, the older creator, 1,000%. Because they're the ones that are going to be a little bit wiser and understand that it takes time to get there. Empires aren't built overnight. The younger creator, they're going to test everything that they possibly can, and they're not going to care about their image on the internet. They're going to go all out and find every angle they possibly can to make the most money they possibly can. Now, that's on that aspect. If you are just doing the same product on just a short sprint, it just depends on what the product is. That's kind of like an open-ended question in that regard.
If you were CEO of TikTok for a day, if you were CEO of TikTok Shop for a day, what would you do?
Give every single creator who has established themselves multi-linking ability.
Why?
Because that right now is one of the most powerful ways to promote products on TikTok Shop and really make a killing. But the reason I say established is because creators who don't know what they're doing can come in and really screw that up. Established creators understand the value that ability brings to your page.
Right. You could almost do higher quality content with more products.
1,000%.
Amazing. I love it. So the future of TikTok Shop, future of Bryce, future of Social Army, where do you feel like all this is going? What can you leave us with?
Future of TikTok Shop, as long as things go well in September, I think it'll be the number one social commerce platform out there.
You sound worried. Do you feel like the app's going to be deleted?
I've always been optimistic about it. I don't necessarily think it'll be like deleted per se. I think it'll be hopefully replicated if it goes down that route. But I also don't see TikTok as being the only one. TikTok just paved that path for all these other platforms. Instagram, YouTube. I mean, YouTube Shop is already killing it. There's a lot of YouTube affiliates that are doing really, really good. Look at Matt Collar, for example. You know, he's one that's kind of
The algorithm's not the same. Though,
the algorithm's not the same. You're 100% right. But the Shorts algorithm is pretty strong if you get into it. Same with Instagram. If you get into the Instagram algorithm and you stay in it, you're going to do well. It's just a matter of finding what works for you and doubling down on it.
I need to talk to Matt about that then, because my 3 million channel, I don't post on it at all.
Also, your 3 million channel isn't catered to
Sneakers, though. I could do sneaker
you
products.
could do sneaker. And the cool thing about YouTube Shop is that it's not like those. There's not a whole bunch of gimmicky products on there either.
Right.
Like you have
Foot
real
Locker
products.
and
yeah.
StockX,
And you could do good stuff on there with that.
Right.
So, but yeah,
see.
it's. I don't like if TikTok goes away. Cool, another platform will take its place. Maybe not as great as it was on TikTok, but they've set the kind of like the bar for it, and all these other companies are going to want to match that.
And is Social Army going to stick with
100%.
different platforms?
100%. Our goal in Social Army is to pave that path for social commerce on every platform that exists. Right now, we're trying to master it on here and see where the future of this goes and branch as far as we can.
So that's the future.
That's 100% the future.
Future of Bryce.
So, yeah.
What's the future of Bryce?
Have as big
More
of an
kids?
online. Oh, shoot. I have 4 boys, and after we got pregnant with our 4th boy, I went and had the procedure.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't like I never thought I was gonna have as many kids as I do. We got to buy one get one free on our 2nd round, so we got twins, which was like I almost fainted. And I pointed out the twin in the womb to the doctor; they didn't see it. But
I'm just having my first, and I couldn't imagine too.
I had my first at 20, then I had my twins at 22, and then I had my last one at 27.
22 years old with twins. That is nuts.
And my wife was a stay-at-home mom for pretty much all of it.
Stay tuned for the second podcast where we talk about Bryce, 22 with twins on TLC.
Crazy.
Well, dude, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I think this was insane, and I definitely think that this was more of a beginner podcast, but if you guys want a second podcast with Bryce, start commenting the questions right now for him. And Bryce has a YouTube channel as well. We're going to link it in the description. Join Social Army if you guys want as well in the description. Everything will be there so you can check it out, see what they do over there, and consider joining. But yeah, man, anything you want to leave us with?
Don't overthink what you're trying to do in this space. I promise it's a lot easier than you think. Just get out of your own way. You are your biggest critic, and you always will be your biggest critic. That's it. Don't allow anyone else around you that's not paying your bills to pave your path. You're in charge of that. Get out of your way.